All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, April 5th. Have a happy Easter today, and thank you for joining me here on the show overnight as we get ready for our sports betting preview. It should be a fun day of action here with Major League Baseball, NBA, and NHL. We're starting to crack down here and find those playoff teams here. More teams getting eliminated by the day. We're going to shorten the schedule here finally on some of our previews here, at least in the NBA. We got some real clunkers. We're not going to cover those, but we'll have plenty of action here for you on Night Moves here for this Sunday here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me here on the show, and we'll get to the action here in just a moment. We'll let some folks file in and try to build a little audience here, but thank you for joining me here at the top of the show. Review some of the action, including action last night from the Final Four. Man, what do you think? We've got our finals here, and it wasn't great for me, that's for sure. I was looking at the other side of these two games here on Saturday, but nonetheless, some pretty good games. UConn over Illinois, 71-62. The Huskies outscored Illinois 16-7 in the last 6+ minutes of the first half. Illinois just 6 of 26 shots from behind the arc. You know, we said sometimes you take too many three-pointers, and UConn's off to their third national title game in 4 years. Man, if they get a win 3 out of 4 years, it's going to be hard to deny Coach Hurley and the Huskies here, but they got us get by big, bad Michigan, and Michigan clobbered Arizona 91-73. It wasn't even that close. Wolverines led 26-10 early, 48-32 at halftime. Michigan has scored 90 points in all 5 NCAA tournament games here. Early line is out. Michigan is a 7.5-point favorite on Monday night in the national title game, and should still be a good one. I mean, Michigan does look almost invincible, but nonetheless, they'll still have to get by here. Total 144 in that one. If anything, it's just ticked down a little bit. A couple books opened Michigan as high as 8. But one book opened at about 6.5, so we've settled on 7. Final. Maybe a little 7.5 here right now in the national title game. Last 11 times a number 1 seed played a non-number 1 seed in the national title game. The number 1 seed won 10 times. The only exception is when Villanova beat North Carolina back in 2016. So that'll be a good one there on Monday night. A couple of finals in the college basketball postseason here. Oklahoma beat Baylor 82-69 to advance to the finals of the Crown Tournament here in Las Vegas. And West Virginia beat up on Creighton 87-70 there in that one. I was trying to find a winner here in the action on Sunday, but I think the only thing we had here was Illinois and Connecticut game to go under. That was a winner for us here on Night Moves, and Oklahoma and Baylor game under there. Did we have that one? I know we had that under in the one tournament game there with Illinois and Connecticut going under there in that one. Hey, one other championship game here on Sunday night. How can we forget? We've got the ladies here in a big national title game. It's not the Connecticut Huskies here, but it will be South Carolina and UCLA. South Carolina, 4-point favorite over UCLA, total 128.5. I've got South Carolina to rock over UCLA. Love what the Bruins have been doing here. I'm a West Coast guy, but I believe in what the South Carolina Gamecocks have done under Coach Staley. Despite the controversy that went on, I don't even know much of what it really is about in the end here. Like I said, that still feels like just bitter Gino. And I'm going to take South Carolina actually to rock over one-loss UCLA here in the title game. Let me hear from you in the chat if you have any opinions on the ladies here on Sunday. So, all right, good basketball action there in the college ranks, and we'll also preview the NBA here on Sunday. There were a couple of games here in the NBA, including a great one actually between the Spurs and the Nuggets. Went overtime there, and didn't work out for us with the under. But what a game it was, with the Nuggets winning it in overtime, and it had some drama there late. Had a playoff feel, even if the score was a little high, if you know what I mean. I'm not bitter about it. I just had the loss, but didn't quite have the playoff defensive intensity here anyway. Denver, might be lacking a little bit of defense actually, but they were able to get that win, another win actually for Denver, I think is the way we should portray it there. 136-134 over the Spurs. The Miami Heat did not cover against Washington, 152-136. Yeah, we had the over here on the show, but Miami didn't cover. In fact, it opened when we were on the show last night, 16.5, and we were talking about, where that spread lies. I think it was clear I was kind of leaning Miami there, of course, but spread actually went up to 19. Wizards kind of got the money there in that one. And then the late game, Detroit and Philly, Embiid late scratch there in that game. We were on Philly last night on the show, but Embiid late scratch, and then Duran in the lineup for Detroit. Detroit ended up rocking them 116-93. So yeah, we ended up on the wrong side there, but the injury, that's supposed to be my specialty here, and I think we talked about it fairly, but with Embiid not going to play on those back-to-backers, even though it sounded like some comments very similar to Giannis, like Embiid was looking to continue to play in more games here, but just the precautionary measures for the 76ers. Okay. Major League Baseball night moves winners yesterday included the Dodgers and the Nationals game to go over. We had that one yesterday in the another blowout victory, or call it a blowout, 10-5. Dodgers over the Nationals here on Saturday. Also, night moves winner, Atlanta and Arizona game to go under there in that one, as Arizona was able to take this one 2-1. We're having a real pitchers series there with those two teams. Also, night moves winner here with Houston and Athletics to go over. Houston went over. Athletics didn't, but it didn't matter. Houston scored all the runs there in that one. We also had a night moves winner here with Pittsburgh Pirates against Baltimore. They're feeling it now here all of a sudden. Majinski there pitching good, and the Pirates get the win over the Orioles 3-2 for a night moves winner for us. We also have the Padres and the Red Sox game to go under. Hey, I was happy with that, with the Padres winning. Had the under here on the show, and the Padres get a needed win there with Randy Vasquez. Good performance there. Night moves winner here for us. Milwaukee Brewers there last night in the game. Well, no, we did skip that. I'm sorry. We didn't have the Brewers and the Royals, but there was that doubleheader yesterday. In fact, we'll only cover one game of the doubleheader that's scheduled today as well, as there was one rain out there yesterday in the major league. So that's what we'll cover there. Hockey, we did have some winners here on the show yesterday in the NHL, although we got off to a really poor start, but we're able to rally a little bit with Florida and Pittsburgh game to go over. It was a night moves winner for us, 9-4. Pittsburgh with the win there yesterday, but the winners were few and far between actually for me here on night moves yesterday. We did have the Montreal Canadiens over the New Jersey Devils 4-3 in a shootout there, but I couldn't find many winners. I would say you guys would probably fire me if I told you how many winners we had. Anybody keeping track? I hope not. They're on night moves in the NHL, hopefully. interesting card here today. 7 games on tap, and we did see um, eliminations start on Saturday for sure. Several teams were ixnayed from the standings here. They'll have no chance at the postseason, and could happen for another couple of teams here today. All right, thank you for joining me here again on the show, and we'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at our premium picks here and see who was hot on the handicapper leaderboards here for Saturday. I went 3-2 with my UFC 5-pack there, the main event. I went over in the main event, but it was over in 2 rounds there. And Moicano and Duncan, with Moicano looking very impressive with the win there over Duncan. Also, Jandroba over Ricci in the co-main event there in a women's fight. And just a UFC Fight Night card. Next week they're going to be on the road, and they'll have a bigger card here. Let's go to Tony'sPicks.com and want to shout out all the cappers that had a good day at Tony's Picks, and let's see who they are and who did what over at Tony'sPicks.com. We'll take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. Here we go, and let's fire it up right now and see. Hey, well, what do you know? I'm on top of the handicapper leaderboards. How'd that happen? 4-2 there yesterday, and up 2 units there, it says. And also here, what do we got? We got Nick Lagaretos going 4-2 as well there yesterday. Justin McKelvey stacks 2-0-1. Good day there for my man. And Tony's Picks VIP account 3-1 yesterday. Solo Malone 6-4 there yesterday. Jorge Gonzalez won his only play. Chris Adkins 2-1. Tony T, another winning day, 2-1. Double Shooty 2-1. Shane Mickle 3-2. Ron Hahn 2-1 among the winners over at Tony'sPicks.com. Nobody absolutely crushed it, but we have several cappers on top of the leaderboards here. Last 7 days, going to be Nick Lagaretos up there, nearly 12 units of profit. Ron Hahn, 14-2 record, 11.5 units of profit. One thing about the shows here, though, I mean, the great job by these guys, but they don't really see him on the air too much here. David Racy, of course, we see him always doing a great job for us with 9 units of profit. Tony T up over 5 units of profit. And Jorge Gonzalez, my man here in Vegas, up 3 units on the week. Over the last 30 days, Shane Mickle up 15.5 units. Ron Hahn up 11 units over there. Tony T up nearly 11 units of profit. Nick Lagaretos up 9 3/4 units of profit. Brian Bittler up 6.5 units of profit. You can check out the Premium Picks tab and find all the handicappers locked and loaded with their best picks for the action here on Sunday. Some of the handicappers with their plays right now up, ready, loaded, and available include David Racy. He's got his Sunday afternoon MLB base hit. Also, Double Shooty has a pick pass up there for Sunday, a 3-pack of action. Also, Chris Adkins has his MLB Grand Slam best bet for Sunday's card. And that might be it. Let's see. Damien Assange has his MLB 10-star total here for Sunday. Ron Crawford, his MLB Diamond Crusher is ready to go. It's a 3-pack for the action on Sunday. Click on the All Cappers tab. That's where you can find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. Why not join me here for 7 days? Let's ride through all the way. National Championship, Major League Baseball, and the final games of the season coming up in the NBA and NHL. So roll with me over at Tony'sPicks.com. See some of the records that I've been able to put up over there so far. Up 420 in the NBA so far this year. Grab that 7-day All Sports Pass and get it for $149. These long-term packages are already discounted pretty good here. You get a lot of great action with me here every day. I'm usually one of the higher volume handicappers on the site. So you're getting good value here with me for $149 over the next 7 days. Also, if you get those daily packages, don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those packages. 3-pack, 5-pack, 7-pack, or discount best bet from the cappers every day. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout, save 15%. And with all of our handicappers, it's profit guaranteed on those day packages. If we don't show profit on those individual packages, for example, going over 500 pretty much, you're going to get credits back to your account. You can use them on the same capper or another handicapper. And we always want to make sure you have a winning experience here at Tony's Picks. So that's how we work it with our profit guarantee. Everybody says, what is the profit guarantee? How do you guarantee a profit? We're just saying that we're going to make sure that the last package you have here, hopefully it's the first and last, and get you to keep signing up. But if it does go awry, we're going to bring you right back here and give you our best bets again the next day. No doubt about it. We're not going to let you get out of here with a negative card. We're going to give it to you the next day and bring home the winners over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, let's say hello to the chat here. We've got a nice crowd in here. I think we can get ready to go. Fish Den's ready to go. Andrew says UConn beat Illinois this season twice. Both games were Illinois' lowest scoring and worst shooting games of the season. And he said, I think Andrew's saying something there about the Big East Conference against the Big Ten. But, man, what does that mean about Michigan? Because they were really strong. And Andrew says, Hurley wins. He's going to join that championship. Not quite in UCLA territory yet, but some other great coaches in there as well. Hey, Robert Montgomery Knight gets the great coach category with me, okay? Maybe you don't want to play a round of golf with him. Maybe you don't want to go to the bar with him, but all right, man, Sushi Maker, who do you have to win it all? Well, I mean, I got to think Michigan's going to win that game, don't you think? Tim M says so. He says Michigan's a favorite by far. Andrew says they're favored by 7.5. It's going to be really hard to beat them, says man Sushi Maker. And Andrew says this is this is Connecticut time here right now, this part of the season, the way they're going. It's championship time is Husky time right there. And, let's not get carried away. Andrew, the UCLA team dominated for a decade plus. You can't compare. But you know what? You can't compare the eras either. I think if you win 3 championships nowadays, you got to count it up there, kind of with the Bruins. That was a different situation back in the day, right? All right, and let's see here. Fishden says these games are over. And let's see here. Thank you, Andrew. Happy Easter to everyone here. That's obviously a pretty good day going on here with the news getting that pilot out of there. That sounds like it was quite a deal. And thank you to Mr. Weskers as well. And Caleb, thank you. Caleb, hey, look, I've kind of said in jest here a little bit, we're going to go for it today. I wouldn't do every day. We're not turn into, but here on Easter Sunday, you better believe it. We're all going to say our thanks to everything every day here. So really awesome. Larry, also happy Easter to everyone here. And, hey, you can have a great Easter egg hunt with real eggs, inexpensive eggs. So many eggs. You're going to have eggs all Sunday long. They're cheaper. They're better. They're not even plastic. Okay, get your real eggs out there. Mr. Weskers, he does not like women's sports. I don't know. I'm not sure about his. I won't say. Okay, let's see. Hello to Cal Dog in there. And will we get another under in the women's game, Andrew says? I think right now I'm just going with the Gamecocks there. And Scuba Diver, hey, all right. Scuba Diver, good to see you there. All right. And Mr. Wesker says, you keep trying to fade Hurley, you're going to get beat eventually. And I tell you what, I'd take him on a fight. I bet I'd work him over. All right, let's see here. All right, that's it from the group. Let's get started with the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. We're ready to go here right now with our action on Sunday. We're starting the major leagues here, you guys. Come on now. Let's get it going. Hey, we have a doubleheader here, but we're just going to cover the first game here, I think, in the first matchup here with the Cubs taking on the Cleveland Guardians. You've got Cabrera here against Slade Ciccone. So it looks like they've decided to switch up the pitching there a little bit with the teams and end up with this matchup here. We'll kind of cover the other game. Maybe we'll touch on the other game a little bit at the end. I don't even think they've, it'll be a old school doubleheader here. I think they'll begin the second game, the typical 20 to 30 minutes after. It's not going to be a day nighter here on a Sunday getaway day. So they'll try to just get these games in. And first game here, ready to go. Here on Sunday at 1:10 Eastern, 10:10 Pacific, I believe, with this one. So it will be the first start. When are those When are those morning games start? Do we even have those anymore? The early start. Somebody had to buy that contract. I love that early start game at 11:30 Eastern. We've got here Edwin Cabrera is going here for the Cubs. For Edward Cabrera, so far so good. Coming in here has looked pretty good with no ERA in that first start of the season. .33 WHIP, 5 strikeouts for Cabrera. He's up against Slade Ciccone here, 12.46 the ERA, and that first start 208 WHIP and 5 strikeouts, but it did have a rough go of it there for Ciccone in the first one. The Guardians here right now coming in here with a record of 5-3. That's better than the Cubs at this point. 3-4 overall. Cleveland, of course, did win that first game before the rain out there yesterday, but Cleveland won the opener 4-1 between these two teams. The Cubs have kind of had their number a little bit when they played in the past, but let's see if you guys want to make a pick here with me in this one, game one. With Cleveland's 5-3 start, it's kind of been driven by this. Like I said, I do like Cleveland's bullpen, 3.64 ERA right now. I'm going to say they continue to improve. They're facing a Cubs lineup, kind of some cold bats here, though, a little bit for the Cubs. Especially in this matchup. They've actually had a little bit of taste, I believe, of Cabrera, but for these Cubs bats right now, got some guys here trying to get along. Bregman, 214, Happ, 179, PCA, 269, Nico Horner, 292, Swanson, $143 here. So, not hot here for the Cubs, and I think that's kind of what's been bringing them down a little bit, but obviously they're going to have the pitching advantage here in this game with Edward Cabrera here going against Slade Ciccone. So we can see what you got in this one. But Cleveland 3-5 to the under so far this season. Cubs are 3-4 to the under here. And look, we're feels like kind of a low-scoring environment. Now, the wind is blowing pretty briskly here, 17 miles an hour from left to right, 43 degrees. So we're still under some weather conditions here. You kind of wonder what the true forecast looks like here for this game. Hopefully we get it in. Let me go to the chat, though, and maybe see what we got here in this one with Cabrera and Ciccone. I still right now this Cleveland lineup, I've got them probably certainly in the bottom 10. Cubs lineup, I'm still going to put them kind of mid-pack here. It feels like at this stage. All right, let me go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one with game one here now. And so we're not going to preview game two. Probably just too many intangibles here at this point. If we had a half a schedule, we'd try to piece it together. But let's see what you got, chat. Thank you for joining me. How it works here, I try to make a preview, make a little pick, and then we go see what you guys are doing. And it's going to be Cal Dog on the Guardians. Bro God's here. Yeah, we got a good NBA slate, Bro God. I know. And, when we get to the postseason, you don't worry. NBA is going first. But we're still hot in the major leagues here, and you know how these spreads are. I know Bro God was here yesterday. I talked about the double-digit spreads there on Friday, going 7-0 when you had the teams that are in the playoffs compared to the teams that are out of the playoffs, and it was 7-0 on that night. It was a little bit different today. There was some teams that kind of came back. Okay, could the Cubs light up Slade Ciccone in there? Cubs run line for Mr. Weskers. And um, let's see here. Supposed to rain the second game. Oh, thank you, Lair. Thank you, Lair. Yeah, boy. Sounds like a rough day. Yeah, it does say, sunny for that first game, just a wind. That is kind of a weird crosswind there. That's going to knock some things down, it feels like, huh? Larry's going to take the Cubs in that first game. Seems like a manageable price here. We've got to give Guardians some credit, though. They've, gotten off to a pretty decent start here so far, but they also played the Dodgers and beat them 2 out of 3, so they're playing pretty well right now. Won 3 out of 4 coming into this one, but maybe the pitching advantage here with Saccone not looking great. And let's see, Cal Dog says he does like those Guardians bats. However, some of you got DeLauder. This guy is impossible right now. DeLauder, like I said, I'm worried this guy's had injury problems his whole career. That's why he's never really caught fire in the major leagues. But right now, he's one of the best players of the game. 346 average, 5 home runs for DeLauder here. Ramirez, $188. Benzardo's not doing anything. Naylor looks weak in there. Schneemann, my man, hitting 227, but the Cleveland bats are having some trouble as well. And Mr. Wester says hitting against Slade is a gift. Cal Dog, I think he's going to take the Guardians here in this one. All right, I'm going to look to knock those balls down, and I'm going to take the under here with Cubs and the Guardians. And we'll see if they can elevate those balls here, and I'll go under 7.5 in this one. All right. And again, let me see. I think they have some pitchers listed, at least for the second game. Maybe it'd be just a good idea to cover it right now. I guess not. But, if you look at the current matchup and maybe what was expected here, after yesterday, it was supposed to be Shoto Imanaga there for the Cubs. So I imagine we'll see Imanaga in there in game number 1. And then I believe it'll be Messick in game number 2, the left-hander for Cleveland, who looked very good in that first start. Parker Messick there in game number 2. So we'll hold off on the pick, but I think we'll look at Imanaga and Messick in game number 2. All right, let's keep it moving here in the major leagues today. And you got the Dodgers. Man, they put it down again there on Saturday. What can you say? The Dodgers here 6-2 right now. Washington's lost 4 in a row. 3-5 record here right now. You put them up against a good team and ran into it here. Roki Sasaki, 2.25 ERAs, 0-1. Coming into this one after that first start. For Washington here, you got Foster Griffin. He was okay in that first. He got a win, 3.6 ERA coming in, struck out 5 for Griffin here. Hey, look, you got a big number here if you want to take a little Washington action in this one. Can they calm the Dodgers down right now? Is this just what we're going to see from the Dodgers? 10 runs yesterday, 13 runs in game 1 against this weak Washington pitching staff, but no, Griffin did look good. For the Dodgers here, they've gone over here in half their games, but Washington 6-2 to the over so far this season. Let's hear from you guys in the chat here with this matchup. Dodgers here, -1.5, minus $1.25 or so on the run line. Looks like a bargain almost here. Right now, just a massive gap between one team who's super hot and looking absolutely terrific right now. In talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers, Nationals cold offense. They've got arms that are giving up. They got the opposite of an arms race there. I think Dodgers here favorites in all their games there. So 6-2, like we said. And let me go to the chat. Maybe it's too easy here, so let me at least see if anybody's willing to take a shot on Washington. And Mr. Wesker's ready to fade Shoto in that other game. Andrew says,
Right now, he says the Nats have been double-digit totals in 9 of the last 10 games between the two teams. Oh my goodness, man! The Dodgers, yeah, last year they were putting up some big runs on them too. Every time when these teams meet, it is over city. Dodgers on the run line, says Larry. And Mr. Wesker's never going to do it, even with one of the greatest teams ever here with the Dodgers. And he's not going to take Washington sneaking one, just one to lay off here. Seems like I don't want to miss out on any Dodger money here. Cal Dog likes the over. And Mr. Wesker, yeah, just kind of afraid to lay a little $1.25 to win a game by 2. But gosh, the Dodgers are just terrific right now. I mean, how can I not take this team to roll here? I have to make a play. That's the thing here. But I'm gonna. I mean, come on. I just got to take these Dodgers to keep rolling here. Right now, they've won 5 of the last 6 against Washington. Overall, it's you guys were talking about in the chat. They're 8 straight overs. Maybe maybe that is the answer. 8 straight overs when the Dodgers and the Nationals have met. But I'll go ahead and take the Dodgers on the run line here. I'll do it. I'll take a chance here with the Dodgers. $1.25. These guys are impossible. All right. And we're going to move it up. Mr. Wesker says that those prices will add up there if you keep taking the Dodgers like this. Well, so far so good. There. Oh, by the way, Dodgers on the run line just 4-4 right now. So you know what, $1.25 that would be a loser if you're breaking even. But Washington 5-3 is on a run line on an underdog on the run line so far. So fair enough. And let's take a look at the next one. We've got. Well, you got the Marlins and you got the Sheriff in here. Paddock going for the Marlins and Max Fried here for the Yankees. Another big price. Now, the Marlins played pretty well, man. They ended up losing that game. They're 8-6 yesterday. I believe that was the final score. But 9-7, 8-6, same thing. But Marlins did come back in that game there. The Yankees needed 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to kind of put it away there in that one. And then the Marlins did have a little minor rally there in the top of the 9th. And so it ended up being a pretty high-scoring game in that matchup. For the Yankees here, they come in 7-1 right now. These guys are great. Giving up 7 runs, I think, was that as much as they had given up all season in one game there, I think, as the Marlins were able to put up some offense. But Marlins come in here 5-3 right now, but obviously have dropped the first 2 games of this series by a combined score of 17-9. So see what they can do here. Maybe they can get something going with Paddock going against Fried, but doesn't seem likely for Max Fried so far. He's one of the few pitchers right now that's already on his 3rd start of the season. He's 2-0 so far with no ERA, 10 strikeouts and a couple of wins. Max Fried's Cy Young right now, I think, here at least for the start of the season. Miami has won actually 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Marlins did, like I said, they did get that offense rolling a little bit, but still dealing with a huge price here with Max Fried at $2.65, and for Chris Paddock here, he's been awful there in that game. 18 ERA so far on a 2.0 WHIP here for Chris Paddock. So look, I'm no Chris Paddock fan, that's for sure. How is he still in the league? But he's found a job here with the Marlins, obviously. Okay, let's take a look here. Marlins money or run line. Cal Dog maybe going there, and there's Mr. West. Is this the one where you maybe can take it, for Paddock here? And yeah, I mean, Paddock is just, he always, he starts okay sometimes, but once a guy gets on base, it's history there. And man, Mr. West, these Yankees right now, gosh, are we going to be heading to Yankees Dodgers again? what is it, 1950? What is this, the 1950s here? Yankees, some of these bats right now, Bellinger, Rice, especially here, Stanton looking good. We don't even talk about Judge, is only hitting a $1.85, but who cares? When you got the rest of the guys kind of clicking, they've had some issues at the bottom of the lineup, but all right, let's see here. And Larry says he'll go under. He'll go under. He says the weather conditions here we saw yesterday. I mean, they were bundled up. That's for sure. There yesterday, right? They were wearing the over their head there. So yeah, more than a 50% chance of rain here in this one. There's 20% chance of cancellation here, according to the AccuWeather Sports site. But a wind blowing out 6 to 7 miles an hour didn't affect the offense last night. There were kind of the same conditions, it felt like. And, even though Paddock here, man, he's going up against his number one offense. I mean, this should be maybe for Judge. He could start to get his average together here. Judge and Stanton could be in for big games here. Meanwhile, for the Marlins here and there, I do like this Marlins lineup. I got to admit, I mean, I probably rate them higher than most. Just outside of my top 10 so far, but still going to be a tough matchup for guys like Ramirez, Lopez, Norby, Xavier Edwards still, who's been having a terrific season so far and batting here for 23. So I know I have the Marlins here pretty high. Sanoa, this guy's been incredible too. But we'll see here what you think of this one. I mean, this one too, this feels like the more, I won't say difficult than the Dodger game at the price, but they're laying a much bigger price. Okay, let's see. Cal Dog says he's going to scratch it over. But same weather yesterday, though. Cal Dog, and there was 16 runs. And Mr. West says sometimes I like that plus, though. And let's see here. Andrew's going to tail Larry in that one. And Mr. Wesker says if the weather is canceled mid-game, run line tickets like the Cardinals game today. Let me see if I read that right. Is weather canceled mid-game negating run line tickets like the Cardinals game today? I'm trying to think of what the scenario was. Maybe I'm missing it, Mr. Weskers, about the Cardinal game today. They played a full game, right? It wasn't a short. Oh, yeah, right. It did go 8 innings, right? Okay, gotcha. More and more books are reverting to just I think it's going to be book specific now. More and more books are reverting to making sure they award those winners of run line tickets. So some books have started to change their rules in college baseball, for example, where you have so many blowouts. They're paying all those off because, hey, it's not our fault that the run line came into play. I guess there's no run line in the major leagues. I would say as a general rule, you are not going to get paid there. But, with the new book, with the new fangled books, if I can call it like that, right. And, no doubt. I mean, there's going to be plenty of cancellations in there. Like I said, the major leagues haven't, but some books are starting to change a little bit to that. I mean, wouldn't you hate to be on that end of the Detroit win there? They smashed them, and it only went 8 innings, and then you end up, without a winner. So it does feel like you're not getting the bet. Let's use some logic in here, right? Okay. Talking about the books, right? It just feels like you're not doing your customers a very good service. Okay, let's see, what did Cal Dog say? Over. Paddock got lit up by the White Sox. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, Paddock kind of was with the Padres for so long that I certainly know how bad he can be, and he is dreadful, that's for sure. What is? Let me take a look at that run line price here. Anyway, I think it's only minus $1.30 on the Yankees right now. I mean. I might have to dig into my piggy bank here for Mr. Weskers, but if it's $1.30 here, how can I not do it right now with these Yankees looking so strong? I'll do another run line here with these super teams. Man, you don't need me on the air here giving out all these favorites, but boy, the Yankees and the Dodgers right now, it's unfair. I mean, what can you say? These guys got all the money, and that's why they're winning. What can you say? Okay, let me just move on to maybe we could find some competitive games in here. maybe we can talk about my Padres here taking on the uh, Red Sox now. Walker Bueller. I'm not too excited right now about Bueller here. 8.75 ERA coming in, and 6.75 ERA coming in. But for Ranger Suarez here, he's got an 8.31 ERA and 0-1 record. Padres were able to get it done yesterday, 3-2. They're kind of trying to improve here to 3-5. Red Sox are 2-6. Talk about some disappointments here. Wind blowing out 9 miles an hour. Drizzle expected here. A little weather in Boston still, so we're dealing with some weather up there in the Northeast. Looks like same story here. 50% chance of rain throughout the game, and temperatures in the low 60s here. 20% chance of cancellation, according to the AccuWeather Sports there. So see what you got in this one. Padres here, an underdog on the road, and they have the better record coming in right now. And not only that, they got some advantages, I would think, over this Red Sox team today. However, right now, I have both these lineups kind of mid-pack here, right around 15-16 for both these teams. Good matchups here for Trevor Story, for Contreras, for Durbin as well. Narvaez, Rafaela. Red Sox might have the advantage here with some of these bats. Padres, Jackson Merrill, not a great matchup. Gavin Sheets, not a great matchup here. But Boston struggled overall. Padres bats are certainly cold versus lefties as always, no doubt about it. Pitching duel might be the script, but we didn't have very many runs yesterday, just 5 runs in the game overall. So, okay, we're going to have a chat here. Look see with the chat, see what they like in my Padre game before I go with it here. And it feels like low weather again, and here in Boston we might be able to keep this one low. Okay, here we go. Mr. Weskers likes the Padres here. He says Padres, League of Legends. Also, Mr. Weskers says, he's going to take Boston extended run line because it's Bueller. Okay, I tried to play a joke on him there. All right, Larry said under here under in the Padres game. Cal Dog says Red Sox to bounce back here, and I agree with that. I mean, $1.50 here right now. Boston's 2-6 coming in. The Padres haven't been impressive, but Ranger Suarez not so good. Hey, Ivanso. Hey, nice to have Ivanso here. Nice there. I hope I got that right, Ivan. Let's just say Ivan probably, but thank you, Ivan. I think he's saying he'll take the Red Sox here. He likes the Red Sox in this game at minus $1.50. And I think Cal Dog thinks it's Ivanhoe there. The Bueller tax, kind of like the cheese tax. The cheese tax. Yeah, I don't want to lay $1.50, that's for sure. I'll try the under here in this one of the Padres and the Red Sox. And we know the Padres got a decent bullpen here. Yeah, the bats are a little bit sketchy here for both teams right now. Really, for the Padres, the only guy really doing much so far is the man who won the game yesterday in the top of the 9th inning. My man Ramon Laureano hitting over 300 right now. The rest of the lineup, everyone's pretty much under the Mendoza line here. Tatis hitting 200, Manny 227. Everybody else is really weak bats here for the Padres so far this season, and they've taken chances on some other guys. Look, you have Castellanos, might as well try to fit him in these lineups anyways. Mr. Wester says Boston's going to fire the manager. Yeah, you can't. If you're Boston, you can't fall behind right now, especially if these Yankees are going off. And look at their lineup too. I mean, Padres. You think the Padres are bad, but Roman Anthony 231. William Abreu has been great. Abreu with 393 average so far, but look at some of these other averages. Again, just like the Padres. Now, my man Marcelo Mayer, pretty happy with him. 294 batting average so far. Rafaela 227, and Colton Wong in there has done a little bit of work as well. But I'll go under here in this one. Next up, it's the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Man, the Pirates 4 wins in a row. They're 5-3. Baltimore comes in 3-5, but we know it's all about KG here so far. Man, Connor Griffin, uh, really been a nice. Just feels like a overall good mojo here for the Pirates right now with Griffin, and you got uh, uh, Braxton Ashcraft here going in this one, 3 ERA, 1.33 whip so far, and 3 strikeouts in that start for Baltimore here. And Chris Bassett, 8.3 ERA, 231 whip so far. Pitched just 4 1/3 innings in that opener, struck out 3. So see what you may be doing here with Baltimore and Pittsburgh with Ashcraft, just $1.30 here going up against the O's in this one. Pittsburgh with a hot streak here, 4 straight games, and they do have some BVP here, I do believe, coming in this one against Bassett. Some of the Pittsburgh bats have done a little work here against Bassett. Brandon Lau, 11 for 20, 4 home runs off of Bassett. Brian Reynolds, 5 for 14. O'Hearn here, 8 of 15. So, yeah, there's some guys who have definitely done some work here there. And look, these Pittsburgh bats now, I'm not saying Griffin. I mean, they were hitting a little bit before Griffin came in here, but so far you've got guys like O'Neal Cruz hitting well, can't feel the lick, but Lau also looking good. O'Hearn has been strong as well. This might be a pretty okay matchup for the Pirates here, and all that momentum. Pitching matchup. Hey, if anything, I think Ashcraft looks like the better option here. So let's see what you have here in this one. The Pirates, baby. Let's go. They might put up some runs here in this game. The way they're going feels like a good situation for them. Okay. Hey, Andrew likes my man Marcelo Mayer for an RBI. Mr. Westers likes the O's, though, in this one. Larry says Pirates on the money line. Stop Geo is here today. Hello to Stop Geo. And Mr. Western says these Oriole bats just get worse and worse. Why do they get rid of all their best hitters time and time again? We know why, right? I mean, some teams play to lose, but like I said, it does suck sometimes when these teams like Colorado, Baltimore here. Now, look, they got Pete Alonso, but what's going on so far for Polar Bear Pete? He is hitting 259. Let's give him a little bit of credit. Gunner, 233. Ward's been great, 333. There's some bats here. Beavers hitting 333, and bottom of the lineup's doing okay. And Happy New Year to Stop Geo and everyone else. Thank you, Stop Geo. We're ready for a great Easter Sunday. All right, Cal Dogs on the Pirates here. Mr. Wester says Pete's already looking forward to the home run derby. Well, you might as well. I mean, you're not going to win enough games in Baltimore. You might as well go for some individual accomplishments. Adley Rutschman so far at 294. He's looking pretty good. The Orioles bats are looking okay as well, but maybe it's going to be an advantage here. It's funny. I want to move Pittsburgh up. I probably have them too low right now, the way I'm talking about them. I might have them right now, right at the edge of the bottom 5, but it does seem like they're the bats are pretty good. I'm kind of looking at the stats like I might have them a little underrated. Let me go ahead and take Pittsburgh here in this one at $1.30. All right, next up. The Rays are on the road taking on the Twins. Here you got Woods Richardson pitching here for the Twins on Sunday. Nick Martinez goes here for the Rays. Rays did win it on Saturday there by the score of 7-1 to even up the series at 1 game apiece here. Woods Richardson comes in with a 3.6 ERA, lost his opener, 1.2 whip here so far. And for Nick Martinez, a 3 ERA, 1.0 whip, 3 strikeouts in his first start of the season here for the Twins. Come in here with a 3-5 record. Tampa Bay 3-5 as well. Tampa Bay just 1-3 as an underdog though so far this season. Let's see what you have here with 2 American League clubs going at it. Tampa Bay here has gone over in 6 of their last 9 games when playing here in Minnesota. And let's see, maybe we can go to the chat here in this one, see what we got between the Rays and the Twinkies. Tampa's bullpen's been a disaster so far, 9.24 ERA. Even with Minnesota's slow start, this seems like a good spot maybe here for the Twins. Maybe some, I want these bats, these Rays bats. I'm pretty hot on them, but they're making me look kind of awkward so far. Now there's some guy, Yandy Diaz, been hot here to start the season. Jake Fraley as well. Nick Fortes also pretty well here. Also, Simpson looking pretty good as well right now for Minnesota. They got some bats that are struggling. Guys like Cody Clemens, Byron Buxton, Wallner, all these guys hitting $150 or so. Maybe a little bit higher for Clemens so far, but Keyshaw's hitting 250, Bell 261. Bell looked okay, but not a whole lot of production so far out of the offense for Minnesota. But we can see what you have here. Like I said, Tampa, usually they're not the best bullpen, but usually Tampa's able to shore things up, and I'm sure they can get it straight. But right now it's the bullpen that's kind of killing things here. Still, it could be the total's 8. And I don't know, Woods Richardson was okay, but just 2 strikeouts there. Let's see what you got in the chat. In this one, Tampa Bay is 6-1-1 to the over so far this season. Minnesota's just 3-4 to the under, but 2-0 to the over as a favorite. Okay, here we go. Mr. Westwood says the Rays are untrustworthy. Larry says he'll take the Rays, however. All right, well, man, I guess I got to make my pick here in this one between the Rays and the Twins. I'm going to go over in this one with the Rays and the Twins. Rays continue to go over right now pretty much in every game. It was a push there on Saturday in the 7-1 win as the Twins really never got their offense going. But like I said, when the Twins have been favored, they are 2-0 to the over as a favorite. And they are a slight favorite here still, I do believe, at $1.15 or so with Woods Richardson on the mound and the Rays on the road. So give me the over 8 runs. I think it's even dipping down to 7.5. I'm going to take the over here. And Andrew is going to take the Twins here in this one. Toronto Blue Jays, Chicago White Sox, Major League action here for a Sunday. The Blue Jays $1.50 on the road against these White Sox here so far. And look, Blue Jays 4-4. They've lost 3 straight. White Sox 3-5. Won the first 2 games here of the series 5-4 and 6-3. So pretty good job there so far by the White Sox. You got Davis Martin here. Won his first start, 5.4 ERA, struck out 6, and 4. Eric Lauer here, 3.37 ERA, 0.75 whip. He struck out a 9. So let's see, though. Blue Jays, kind of a hefty number, though, on the road, even against the White Sox right now. Look, it's early in the season. The White Sox are, nobody's going to put them in the playoffs or anything, but short term here, you're staying at least coming in with a better record than your opponent here, or not a better record necessarily, but at 3-5, Toronto is 2-6 on the run line so far this season. The White Sox at home are 2-0 on the run line, and as an underdog here, we'll see. But let me go to the chat and see what you guys want to do here with the Blue Jays taking on the White Sox. Chicago's bullpen's been the liability, a 6.75 ERA so far. Toronto, for the offense, should bounce back here and grab this last game. You got the sweep avoidance here possibly, but you still have to lay $1.50 on the road. So I'm not sure it's the best option, but it is plus money if you wanted to do so. Let's go to the chat. I don't know if we're going to find many of them interested in the White Sox necessarily at home, but I don't know. At minus $1.25 on the run line, I don't know if the Blue Jays can necessarily get there with a 2-run victory here. They're just going to be tough enough to get the win, it feels like. Okay, hello to Soundman in there. He likes the White Sox today. Mr. Westwood says, "How are they $1.50?" I mean, it is almost you could make them a favorite here possibly. Mr. Westwood says he thinks the White Sox would get the wild card. And let's see here. Larry's going to go with the White Sox on the run line, even though he's a Cubs fan and a Bud man. Okay, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to take the White Sox here plus a 1.5 at home against the Blue Jays on Sunday. The Milwaukee Brewers and Kansas City Royals here, fresh off of a doubleheader there on Saturday. And you got for the Brewers here, Harrison is on the mound in this one for Milwaukee, and for the Royals, Chris Bubich goes in this one for Kyle Harrison here, a 1.8 ERA for the left-hander. No record to show here at this point, but a 1.0 whip, 8 strikeouts, and that first one for Bubich here got the win. 1.5 ERA, 0.83 whip with 4 strikeouts. He's looked pretty good here so far as well coming in, and Kansas City is going to be favored here, $1.20 with the total 8 under. In this one, Milwaukee's offense is one of the top offenses in the league so far. They're number 1 in RBIs, number 2 in total runs, number 2 in batting average. Milwaukee's had a good start here to the season for the most part. They come in 6-2 right now. Royals hanging in there, 4-4 at this point, but still you're going to have the Royals actually favored here with Bubich on the mound. So I don't know. The Brewers kind of look like that playoff caliber team again. I still think we need to see much, much more here from the Royals if they're going to improve. Yesterday, of course, it was 8-2 Kansas City, but game 1 of the doubleheader was 5-2 in favor of the Brewers. So they did split that doubleheader yesterday. Let's go to the chat here. Let's see what we got in this one. Milwaukee's bullpen has been excellent also, 2.27 ERA so far. KC has not been trustworthy as a favorite so far, just 2-2. So we could see a pretty decent, feels like it could be a decent pitching duel. Kansas City is 2-6 to the under so far, 1-3 to the under as a favorite here, but I got to take the Milwaukee Brewers here at even money. Give me the Brewers in this one for sure. I'm taking Milwaukee. All right, let's see what we got. It's going to be, I think, maybe under here. I think Soundman's on the under. And Brew Crew for Cal Dog. Kansas City's won 12 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams in Kansas City. Here's Mr. Wesker says those Brewer bats are looking good. Hey, I want to say hello to Remy Jones in there. He says, I look like I have a body stashed. I'm just on here doing a sports betting show to cover up my crimes, according to Remy Jones in the chat. Thank you for joining us, Remy. I'm pretty insulted that you come take me for a serial killer. Larry Martin says he'll go over with the Brewers and the Royals here, and Mr. Westford says Bubich ain't all that. Yeah, you know what? I'll give Bubich a little bit of credit. Over his career here, he's worked hard and definitely established himself as a pretty good starter, and he looked good in that first game. Like I said, I think we could see maybe a little bit of pitching here. All right, I'm going to take the Brewers, though. Next up, we've got the Reds taking on the Rangers here. And this one, Chase Burns going here for the Reds. And Jack Leiter here for the Rangers. Reds winners of 2 straight here over the Rangers this weekend, 5-3 and 2-0. Good, strong pitching performance there. That 2-0 victory on Saturday, and the Reds got a strong pitching performance in that game from Lauder, the rookie there. He went 6 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Lauder. And there you got another good young pitcher in here for Cincinnati with Chase Burns. So far, you got to think Burns here. No ERA in that first game, 7 strikeouts, looked very good. There, Jack Leiter, 3 ERA, did win his first game. Trying to make him a stopper here at this point with Texas on a 3-game losing streak after the first 2 games here in this one. But let's see what you guys have here with the Reds. Look, 5-3 so far for Cincinnati. This is a good, strong dog profile here at even money, it feels like. Meanwhile, for Texas, with that 3-game skid, they're definitely struggling offensively, it feels like right now. Now, Nimmo has been great here. 11 hits so far, 379. We got Langford, $188. Corey Seager, 269. Burger Time, pretty good, 333. But some other guys, Jock Peterson not clicking. Smith, Jung not clicking here at this point. For Cincinnati, you got some bats here. Friedel not cutting it right now. McLean struggling. De La Cruz struggling. Sam Stewart has been the man here. Suarez also looking pretty good, but nobody else really. Steer, Benson, Stevenson, Cabrian Hayes, all kind of struggling a little bit here. But man, Chase Burns feels like the guy you want to roll with here. It is the Rangers need to get one here on the final game of the weekend here, but man, you got Chase Burns here. It feels like I kind of want to get down with Chase Burns. Let's go to the chat here and see what you have in this one. All right. Hey, Shaq is here. I missed it. Let me see here. Thanks, Remy. Yeah, well, a lot of people say I got that, that Jack Nicklaus. Here's Johnny. Look, all right, let's see here. Shaq says he went with the Brewers on a Sunday. Mr. Westford says you got to go with the Rangers run line. He's tired of what the Reds are doing right now. Soundman, Texas, and under. And Cal Dog taking the Rangers, though. And so is Timmy Two Shoes here. All right, and Larry's going to go under here with these two. And Mr. Westford says, look, if any team's going to drop 4, it might be drop 4 straight. It might be the Rangers right now. And Reds run line here after maybe I was talking. I'm talking of Chase Burns, certainly. And look, there's no doubt the real deal here. Jack Leiter, you know how I feel about, guys who had relatives here of major leaguers. Shaq says Texas, Marlins, O's, Rockies, St. Louis, Nats, and Jays to avoid those sweeps on Sunday. Wow. Okay. Yeah, well, let's see here. I like Burns. I think even money's going to be okay. I think both guys can probably deal here, actually, in this series, obviously, as very, kind of like my social life, very little scoring yesterday, 2-0. So let me take the under here in this one with the Reds and the Rangers. I'll go under here, but probably going to find a way to get to the Reds here. All right. Thank you to the chat. Great job, everyone. Let's keep it moving here in Major League Baseball and go with the Phillies and the Rockies here. Man, the Phils with Walker here going in this one for Taiwan Walker, 11.57 ERA. But the Phillies have won 4 straight because they're mashing the Rockies here this weekend. Just took it out on them again on Saturday. It was just 2-1 actually, but did get the win for their 4th straight win. Yes, they beat Washington twice. Yes, they beat Colorado twice. But hey, those teams are in front of them, and the Phillies did take it down here. $1.70 for Taiwan Walker. Now look, they didn't cover the run line in that first game. Phillies just 2-6 on the run line so far. The Rockies are 6-2 on the run line so far. So look, I mean, the Phillies could probably win, but the Rockies lost by just a run yesterday. Actually, 3 of the last 4 games, the Phillies have won just by 1 run in this 4-game winning streak. Rockies, meanwhile, they did well in that Toronto series, but Phillies always beat up on this team. The Phillies have won 9 straight games against Colorado, including 6 straight games here in Denver. So let's see, though, how you have it. Pretty big price here still with this one at $1.70. Phillies on the run line, $1.20.
Final.
Phillies just enjoy hitting, it feels like, in Colorado. And this lineup versus weak pitching and the Rockies bullpen probably going to equal some runs in today's game. It didn't work out there yesterday, but might just have to roll with the look. I'm not comparing yet the Phillies, but with the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Phils, these teams are just looking so good with some of these offenses right now. It feels like there's only a few teams that have decent enough offenses to cover a run line. Trey Turner's looked good so far. Stott, okay. Marsh has been the man, and Garcia as well, really, for the Phillies, and also Crawford there. We saw him get that the walk-off win there, or the big hit there, basically, for Crawford on Saturday, right? So he got that. I don't think it was a game winner or anything. Was it Crawford that had the big hit there? Oh, he had the big hit. Let's see. Now they scored in the 5th inning there. So, okay, let me see what you guys got here. You know what? I'm good to go here, I think, in this one with the – let me go to the chat here. I didn't go to the chat yet. Okay, here we go. Andrew said, there it is, 9 in a row. Wow, for them. Phillies don't care about spreads. I just mash you here, but could only get the 1 run. 2-6 for the Phillies on the run line, favorite every time. Colorado, 6-2 on the run line. They're an underdog every time. So, Soundman likes this one to go way over here. But Larry likes it under after what happened yesterday. And Timmy says Rockies team total over there on Sunday. And Mr. Westcott says, can't take the Phillies against the spread if they got a 2-6 record. That's just not going to cut it. They might get the win, but at this price, it doesn't feel like a very good price at all. Phillies going to be a public team for sure. Cal Dog's liking the under here. All right. I'm going to go over in this one with Philadelphia and Colorado. We're in Colorado after all, but they used to go over all the time. I'm so old. Back in the day, the Rockies totals used to be 13 until they put the ball in the humidor. All right. Here we go. Next up. Yeah, the Mets are going to take on the Giants. Kodai Senga goes for the Mets. Logan Webb for the Giants. Coming into this one, Giants $1.15 right now, and Total 7/20. Kodai Senga has an ERA of 3 so far this season, but no 1-1 record. 9 strikeouts so far for Logan Webb. 7.36 ERA, 1.55 WHIP, 12 strikeouts on the campaign. And see what you think here with the Mets taking on the Giants. Yesterday was
final.
Yesterday's game here between the two teams. It was 9-0 in favor of the Mets as they kept their role here. They really dominated the Giants here of late. The Mets have actually won 6 of the last 7 meetings here in San Francisco. They've won 5 straight against them overall. Also, 5 straight meetings between the two teams have gone over, including yesterday's 9-0 game. So let's see how you guys have it here. For the Mets, got to give credit to their bullpen so far, 1.82. Also, the Giants' offense, very inconsistent. They've had a good bullpen, though, as well. A nice day here in San Francisco, 75 degrees, warm. And for the Mets here, Luis Robert has been the key on their offense, and Mark Vientos as well. Those guys have kind of carried it. And also Francisco Alvarez with those 2 home runs for San Francisco. Good offense from Luis Ariz so far, but not much else really. The offense has kind of struggled a little bit for the Giants, and yesterday couldn't get anything going as the Mets shut them out. Mets have outscored them here in the series this week in the first 3 games by the score of 26-5. So, I mean, you're really going to trust anything even close to the Giants? You get Logan Webb here as a stopper in this game. But, man, Giants having some issues here. Let's see what you got in the chat. All right. Hey, I'll be Mets on the run line for Mr. Weskers. And Mets shut him out there on Sunday. And Cal Dog said that Canseco with the games in Colorado gave it all away. Mr. Weskers says something might be off with Logan Webb so far. Does not look Webb-esque so far with that 7.36 ERA. Mets and under for Soundman. And over again here for Cal Dog. You know, Soto has that injury. Is it his ankle or his calf? Larry here, I think it's calf, right? Larry on the Mets. Andrew going over 5.5 Ks with Senga as well. And Timmy Choo likes Webb strikeouts to go over as well. I got to roll with these Mets to get the sweep, man. They love beating these Giants for sure. And if I can get them at $1.05, I think we got to take the Mets here in this one to get the 4-game sweep. Bye, Giants. It is his calf, huh? That's a tough one. That's a tough one to get back from in a relatively quick fashion. Okay, let's keep it moving here. In the major leagues, you've got the Astros taking on the Athletics. In Sacramento at the Matchbox. For the Astros here, coming in right now with a record of 6-3. The A's are 2-6. So, look, they had the game. They had a good game the other night. Yesterday got beat 11-0. It was easy, quick, and early, painless death for the A's on Saturday. But nonetheless, Houston comes in here pretty hot right now. One of the hotter teams going. And, they lost the first game of the series, but right now the A's are 2-6. So not great for Houston here. They are 6-3, as I said, 3-2 as a favorite, and 3-2 as a run line favorite. Houston's gone over in 7 of 9 games so far this season, even though Atlanta's gone under in 3 of 5, and they're under in 1 of 5 of 6 games as an underdog. They did go over so far in both of their games here in Sacramento at the Matchbox. So let's see what you have here with the Astros with McCullers going up against Lopez. For McCullers so far, 1.28 ERA. Lopez, 6.75 ERA coming in. Okay, here we go with some plays, it looks like. Soundman likes this one way under today with these two pitchers. Cal Dog says Astros on the run line. Mr. Weskers will do it too. And Timmy says this one may go over 10. So we got some discrepancies, it feels like, on the total in this game. Yeah, in Sacramento, I guess you can see why it might be some conflict here. But I think Houston's offense has looked pretty good. I think, or at least maybe it's been a balanced offense. How's that? With some of these guys here, the Ordon Alvarez, awesome. Altuve's hitting so far. Also, Walker up near 300, but not everybody is holding their own here so far. For the A's, Langoliers MVP candidate so far at this point. Nick Kurtz, though, really bad right now, and some of the other bats too, just not hitting that well. Max Muncy's been okay, but you got some guys here in the 170 to 220 range. So let's see, though, what you think in this one between the Astros and A's here in Sacramento. In the chat, let's see what they have. We already said that. Let's see here. We got more. Astros run line for Larry. And says the Little Leaguers can hit the home run out of that park. Maybe it will be just another over here in this one at 10 runs. Maybe that is the best way to go. Like I said, both games so far went over, and I'll do it. Give me the over here in this one with the Astros and the A's. And Shaq will take the Giants. Okay, here we go. Mariners and Angels, Major League action here for Sunday with Luis Castillo on the mound here for Seattle. Seattle comes in 4-5. The Angels come in 4-5 after the Angels won on Saturday over Seattle 1-0. How about it? Great pitching for the Angels there. Only one run was scored. It was in the first inning. The Angels made it stand up. We talked about Emerson Hancock, how good he was, but Jack Kohanowitz, 4 hits, 5 2/3 innings, and 7 strikeouts. For Kohanowitz, he outdueled Hancock, 6 2/3 innings, 6 runs, 1 earned, no walks for Hancock, but the Angels get the win there on Saturday. And look, they're a dog here in this matchup against Seattle. Look, Castillo's great. We know that. But the Angels here going to go with Ryan, don't call me Randy Johnson in this one, 6.2 ERA, 3.3 whip, just 2 strikeouts. Luis Castillo, strong in that first game. No ERA, 0.67 whip, 7 strikeouts. So, you're getting Castillo here, but man, having to lay this kind of number does feel a little bit awkward. Seattle's bullpen, though, has been dominant too. 2.28 ERA. Angels definitely a little bit volatile here, and I guess Seattle, if they can get any kind of offense here, could pull away late. Could the run line actually be the best play? I don't know if I want to do it, but so far Seattle on the run line, just 3-4 is a run line favorite. Angels 4-5 is a run line underdog so far. And let's see what the chat has in this one. Feels like a pitching mismatch for sure. Not Randy Johnson, that's for sure. Angels and Mariners under here for Larry, but Timmy's going over. I might have to break the tie in this one. I think I can take the Mariners on the run line here at -1.5 at -105. I'll take the run line with the Mariners today. Just because Ryan Johnson, I'm not sure yet. Let's see more from Johnson so far. Was not good in that first start, so probably willing to kind of go against him here at this point. Okay, in the chat they says Angels money line has value. Mariners are just not a good team. Doesn't know why people think that they are. Well, probably when you're kind of a playoff caliber team or been there before, and you do have a guy who hit 60 a record-setting home run hitter. Here you have a guy in Castillo who has been with this team for quite a while. He's kind of the ace of the staff, and but 4-5, you're right. I mean, they probably should be better than that so far. Not great. Got to be better. I'll try them today. All right, here's the Braves coming in 6-3 with Martin Perez going here against Brandon Pfaadt. Arizona comes in 4-5 so far for Perez. A good start. No ERA, 0.46 whip, and 3 strikeouts for Brandon Pfaadt. 7.5 ERA, 1.17 whip, 3 strikeouts in that opener. Let's see what you have here in this one with Braves on the road taking on the Diamondbacks here. Diamondbacks finally got one, snapped the Braves 3-game winning streak on Saturday. So Arizona in the win column here in the last game of the 4-game series. Arizona is 2-1 as a favorite, 4-3 at home. They also are 2-1 as laying it on the run line here so far. But let's see what you think with this matchup. After all, I think here, the way I'd kind of figure here with Arizona and this lineup right now. Look, yesterday they were only able to put up 2 runs. It was enough in the end, but so far, Kettle Marte, no good. Corby Carroll, okay so far. Perdomo, not so much. Moreno still struggling. Arenado struggling. Jose Fernandez has been okay so far, and so has Jorge Barrosa for Atlanta here. Meanwhile, Acuna struggling here. Baldwin's been, very good so far, and boy, he looks good. Olsen hitting over 300 here right now. Yaz is doing okay. Albies has been great. The Braves lineup has been pretty impressive so far. Arizona, meanwhile, like I said, have some guys definitely kind of struggling. Let's go to the chat here, I guess, in this one. And I'll make my call. Here we go. All right. Angels, Mariners. I'm looking for the Braves here. Diamondbacks for Shaq. There we go. And Cal Dogs on the Braves. Under for Larry. Mr. Wesker says Raleigh is not a pressure hitter. OGB Cappin here is taking Baldwin on a home run prop. Thank you. Nice to see you, OGB Cappin. And Wester says the line's low for a team like the Powerful Braves, as I've called them here. Powerful Braves. All right. All right, well, I guess I'm going to make my call here with Powerful Braves today, and let's see what you got here. The way I see it, and that price here with basically just a pick'em pal in this matchup. All right, let me look at a few numbers here real quick. Otherwise, I know what I want, but I just got to decide if I'm taking the side of the total right now. I think in this matchup, been kind of a shift to the favorite here. It seems like to Atlanta here right now, but can they do it again here with this one after Arizona grabbed that first one. And right now it is 2-1 in the series here with the Braves. Of course, they won that first game 17-2, then win 2-0, and finally switched back here to the Diamondbacks. So, all right, give me the under here in this one with Perez and Pott. I think I got to go under. Now, Tony did say that the roof here is expected to be closed today. It was open for the other games. That may have affected, the run production. If you look at it over the 3-game series here so far, 2-1, 2-0, and yes, 17-2. But note that in that game, it was just a 2 for the Diamondbacks. So these teams are having trouble, in my opinion, scoring some runs. We'll see. Maybe the environment will change with the closing of the roof here on Sunday. Okay, let's see here. OGB says Baldwin on that home run. Man, Baldwin looks good, doesn't he? And also, Shaq says, pick 'em. It's a pick 'em, pal. And let's see. Timmy's going over. Shaq says it'll just be a 2-2 in this series here, possibly, right? Let's see here. Shaq says the roof will be closed. Yeah, I think they said, because of the, now it's a day game. Those other ones were night games, and it'll be closed once we get to the summer months. But got to have a few night games here, it feels like, or feel roof open games at night. Okay, I went with the under. Okay, is that it? Oh no. Okay, we got Sunday Night Baseball. Boo, ba-da-bum-ba-da. And we've got, man, I didn't even write in my pictures here with Colonel Leahy going here against Montero here, and the Tigers $1.35. Got my pick written down. I don't have the line written down in the pictures. But let's see what you guys think of this one here with the Cardinals taking on here the Detroit. Both teams coming in 4-4 for Kyle Leahy here, 7.2 ERA, 0-1 record. Keter Montero goes here for the Tigers. And, going to be a favorite here for Detroit, but we saw Detroit win 11-6 there yesterday. They won the first 2 games of the series pretty handily here, and they're at home laying it here, $1.35. Let's go to the chat here and see what you got. You got hey, For Real Kev is in there. Thanks, For Real Kev. Good to see you. Cow Dogs on the Tigers here. Mr. Westwood has got to try to find a way to these Cardinals at plus money. Can't lose them all. And Larry, we're probably not gonna do the second game. Just too many variables, I think, there. But let's see what you think, maybe, guys, in this one. I will say this about game 2. I think the profile of the game is kind of the same. You got Cleveland's pitching depth, to probably can carry through a doubleheader. It may be dependent on the result, whether or not you're going to come back with them here after that first game. So that's about what I can say, I think, about it. Okay, as far as the Cardinals and the Tigers here, Detroit, they've been good so far at home, no doubt. That's been a strong suit here. St. Louis offense not quite clicking, it feels like, with guys here like Herrera 200, Wynn 179, Gorman 227, Walker 217. So Scott's look good. Weatherholt's been interesting too. But Detroit's got some guys, man. We talk about them. Colt Keith, Kevin McGonigal. These guys are crushing right now. Dingler, all these guys. Bobby's in there. So, all right, let's see what you have here. I think I just want to take Detroit in this one to win again. I'll take Detroit to close them out here. Give me the Tigers in this one. All right, we'll go to the chat a few more times, and we're moving on. Man, it's already been an hour here. Or what has it been, 90 minutes? And we're just done with baseball because we love our baseball. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Cards and over for Timmy. Dogs and run lines for Mr. Weskers. Larry's on the Tigers money line there. Real Kev says he's back on that Brewers game, but thank you to Real Kev here. And let's see. Timmy says wants to see more from Montero. We've seen plenty of Montero. Hey, I want to say hello to 51 TGCM 51 Vin. Nice to see him in there. And Timmy says, you got to take Sunday night over on Sunday Night Baseball. Hey, we got to get a move on here, man. Let's go to the NBA to get it rolling here now. We got a pretty big card. Now, we're going to shorten it down. Memphis and Milwaukee, Washington and Brooklyn. Those teams are not going to be – we're not going to cover those games. Let's go right to the better games here. The Phoenix Suns are on the road taking on the Chicago Bulls here in this one. I mean, not a great game, but you know how we do it here. We cover the games involving the teams that are in line for the postseason, and that's what you got here with the Phoenix Suns favored by 10.5 on the road, man. The tankathon's in full effect. Again, no matter how yesterday didn't quite come through, but remember, Friday was 7-0 with the good teams against the bad teams covering those spreads. Phoenix, as we said, probably zeroed in on the number 7 spot. Portland's won 3 in a row. They're kind of on their tail. So I would think that Phoenix could and should do it here even as a 10-point favorite, total 237.5. The Bulls are in a massive losing streak here right now coming into the game. They've lost 6 straight. They're just 3-12 in their last 15 at home. Also, Phoenix dominates this matchup historically. They've won 11 of the last 12 meetings between the two. Suns have gone over in 5 straight. Bulls have gone over in 5 of 7. They're mostly under teams during the season here so far, but lately they've been going over. I say under mostly. Actually, the Suns are a big time over here. Of late, they're 21-17 to the over on the road. I guess they do go under for the most part, but right now feels like more overs right now, like a pace and the defensive drop off that we've seen here currently. So give me the Phoenix Suns on a roll in this one over the hapless Bulls. I'll take the Suns to keep pace here and stay ahead of the Blazers. I think the Suns, look, if they get 7th place, like I said, they'll probably be into the main draw of the playoffs. So see what the chat's doing here. Anything in this one? Suns against the spread. The Bulls have been done, right? So Jimmy Chushu says take the Bulls. And Mr. Westers loves those early starts in the major leagues on Sunday. All right. Hard to watch the Bulls right now, says Larry. Especially when their star player has been out, of a few games for sure. I think he's even on the injured list again today, but he is questionable. Nick Richards questionable as well. All right, give me the Suns here. Mr. Wester's in the roll. Larry's got an upset for the Bulls, so I got to take the Suns. Raptors and Celtics here. Celtics by 9.5. Now, this isn't a tankathon game, okay? The Raptors here are postseason bound. I mean, come on. They're not only postseason bound, they're in 6th place here currently. They just want to avoid getting into the play-in round. They've got to hang on here if they can. The Sixers are right behind them, just a half a game back. So, important game for the Raptors, but, oh, man, the Celtics yeah, they lost one in there recently, but man, they just ever since Tatum's return, but not just Tatum. It's been more, we know Brown's had an incredible season. The addition of Queta, you can't deny that with Queta's extended time in here, how good he's been this season as well. So Celtics just been a strong cover, 45-32, ATS 31-24. ATS is a favorite, but Toronto's in their best role as a road dog pretty much. And These two teams, solid unders for sure. Some of the biggest under teams in the league right now. These two teams are combined 58 and 96 to the under. Boston 14 and 23 to the under at home. 20 and 35 to the under as a favorite here. I think I just got to go under in this one. I think Boston probably in a position where they can cover this game, but these are hardcore under teams right now. I got to go under in this one. All right, Cal Dog's going to go over. And Mr. West says, you got to take the Raptors against the spread. The Raps are live here to compete. Look, they're going to the postseason. They've been, quietly strong all year. Still 9 games over 500. That's pretty nice, really, when you think about it. It seems like we see their losses are more embarrassing than their wins, but a Boston money line here for Larry. But Timmy says, take the Raptors plus those points. Final. I don't think I can disagree with that. Give me the under, though, here in this one for sure. With those trends there a little bit, that's what I feel like is the way to go here. Boston covered 5 of their last 6. Toronto just 1-14 in their last 15 games against the Boston Celtics straight up. So I think Boston's unders in the head-to-head 13 of 19 games have gone under between these two teams. I'll take the under. And Shaq went with the Raps here, and Timmy's on the Raptors here, and Larry's on Boston. Thank you, gang. We're moving along here. Pacers and the Cavs here in the Tankathon. Now, the Cavaliers are a bad spread team, no matter how you look at it. Very poor record against the spread all year long. They've won 3 of 4 straight up here right now, but 21 and 41 as a favorite. And you're going to get them here probably as a runaway favorite eventually. You might just want to hang on if you like the Pacers here, but the move has been on them a little bit, 60.5 right now. No Siakam out of this game for Indiana. Shepard questionable. Naismith is out. Nembhard is out right now. And for Cleveland, Mobley is out of this game. Sam Merrill out. Jarrett Allen out. You got almost a G League type of feel here to this game. That makes it difficult to cover 17 when you don't have all the parts you'll ever need in there. And like I said, Cleveland, such a poor team covering the spread. Indiana has been going over big time here of late. And, with these games, these high totals, maybe that's just the best way to go. Like we said, when you have the backups in there, usually it goes a little higher because the reason why sometimes guys don't start is because they don't play the defense, right? So Indiana's gone over in 9 of their last 10 right now. 4 of the last 6 meetings have gone under here, but it does feel like currently with this situation, it could be an over here with the Pacers going over so strong here of late. Pacers have also covered 7 of their last 8 games, and they're in the Tankathon. So you got an inflated line against a Cleveland team that struggles, and the Pacers are still covering numbers here right now late. So I'm going to take the Pacers here in this one and say that the Cavs here, definitely got a makeshift lineup as well. Both teams kind of, not their best starting lineups out there. I'm going to take the points in this one. Okay, here we go. And it's going to be the Cavaliers for Mr. Weskers. Over for Timmy Two Shoes. Cavaliers, money line, and under there for Larry. And maybe the bench helps it go over here. Cal Dog says they can't cover with all their players. Timmy Two Shoes says the Indy should sign Caitlin Clark. Do you know that the Indiana Pacers actually did sign a female player at one time? One of the best female players in the history of basketball. I don't want to say it was a gimmick at the time. It was a partial gimmick, yes, but Ann Myers was signed by the Pacers. She still does color commentary. She's the widow of baseball pitching legend Don Drysdale, and she was signed by the Pacers. Had the uniform. You can look it up, and she held the uniform up and everything. And she was an incredible female player at the time of the. I don't know if her game would have transcended. It probably would. Actually, she's an incredible athlete. And Annie Myers Drysdale, wife of pitching legend Don Drysdale. Okay, give me the Pacers there in that one. Let's go next up. Look at this. Oh man, we got a good matchup here. This is a good game. Is it the game of the day? I know we got some other games that are supposed to be like the TB games, but look at this with the Hornets and the Timberwolves here. Now, look, if you go by the spread, there's only one way to go, and that's to the Hornets. I mean, they are a good, among the best spread team here against one of the worst. Now, nothing wrong with the Timberwolves, but here are the Hornets right now, and they're trying, of course, to earn that position here. They're right behind the Sixers by a game. The way the Hornets are playing, you got to think that maybe here in the last 4 games of the season, they could move up out of the play-in, but at least a 7th if they can here. Amazing. 4 games left in this season. 3-game winning streak here for Charlotte. Minnesota's lost 2 straight. Minnesota, 34-43 against the spread this year, 17-22 against the spread at home. Charlotte, 49-29 against the spread, 23-15 against the spread on the road here. Pretty good spot it feels like for the Hornets. The Wolves are at home, but the Hornets take on all comers. It seems like Charlotte's gone 8-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 10. They clearly are in form. Both teams trending heavily under, especially Minnesota at home. This one, 228, doesn't seem terribly high, but Minnesota 12-27 to the under at home. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. Charlotte 30-48 to the under overall this season, and 16-22 to the under on the road. So let's see though here what you have. But man, I'll tell you what. So Charlotte's just 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games against Minnesota coming into this one. Minnesota just 1-4-1 against the spread their last 6 games at home against Charlotte here. I'm going with the under. I feel like that is the more solid. Charlotte, you got to like them in this spot, I think. But let me go ahead and take the under in this one. Here we go with some plays from the chat. And it's going to be Mr. Wesker says the Wolves may be so mad this year because they've such a bad cover, right? And Hornets here for Cal Dog. Everything says it's a Wolves spot, says Mr. Weskers. See, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what does say that it is one of the worst teams around. Spread-wise, they got to get it right tonight, says Larry. If you can't do it here in this one against a good team, right? And let's see here. Timmy says you got to go with the under. $1 million on it for me. $1 million on the under. Okay, and Wolves have lost 3 straight, but Edwards is in, says Mr. Westers. That's the reason the 76ers loss should not be a blowout. You got Edwards back in here, shoring up this lineup today. I actually show him as questionable here, but I do feel like he will play. McDaniels is definitely out. We know that. Grant Williams probable here. Diabate questionable. And I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going under. All right, Magic and the Pelicans here. Magic favored by 3.5. And now look, I mean, the Pelicans have done a nice job covering some numbers, but we are in the tankathon game here still, no doubt about it. In fact, the Magic, are they 3.5 or are they 4.5? Yeah, better update that one. Feels like has it moved since I did these numbers? 4.5, and 236.5. Okay, wow. I did these kind of after the UFC here, so these lines were a few hours old. Hope I didn't have any others that were kind of stale in there, but Magic here. The Pelicans are on a long losing streak, no doubt about it. They kind of, yes, they had their moments, it felt like, but all of a sudden, here we go. Pelicans right now losers here of 7 straight games. The Magic, as we said, very precarious position here, 9th place. They got to move up, but man, the Hornets are ahead of you right now. And it does feel like it's still a tough situation here for the Magic, but I don't know. Seems like a manageable number as well, though, at 4.5 here. Let's see what you think maybe in the chat. Orlando is coming in off of a win last time out against Dallas, 138-127. They couldn't contain Cooper Flag, who scored 51 points in that game. But Magic have won 4 straight games in this series. Not only are the Pelicans not winning, they're not even coming close to covering right now. And not only that, Orlando is 8-0 straight up and against the spread against New Orleans. And the Pelicans on this 7-game slide. It does feel like a pretty good situation for the Magic. Orlando is hitting their overs right now for sure. They're 26-21 to the over as a favorite. Pelicans' inconsistency does make you question whether or not they can get the offense together here for this one, and the total's gone up to 236.5. But I think I'm going to go over in this game. Yep, give me the over here with Orlando and New Orleans. I'm on the over in this one. Okay, and let's see if the chat here on this matchup, Magic and Pelicans. Here we go. Magic money line for Cal Dog. Mr. Westcoast ain't back in the Magic. No way. Timmy says, give me the over in the Pels Magic game. And Larry likes the over as well. Hey, I want to say hello and welcome to Jacob Fuller in the chat. Thank you, Jacob, for being here and making a comment with us. He says Magic should start to gain momentum. You got Wagner back in there now, his 2nd game back. Made a bit of a difference here, too. I want to almost say overlooked by cappers here for the most part. All right, I'm going to take here the over in this one. Jazz and Thunder right now in the Tankathon. Thunder, 21-point favorites, but still Thunder right now leading by 2.5 games over the Spurs. Feeling pretty comfortable here. 5 games left for the Thunder, 4 for the Spurs. I think they're going to get this, hang on for this home court advantage, and they need it. They're going to need it. Oklahoma City coming in here with 4 straight wins overall. Utah, they're on a losing streak, of course. Right now, Utah's dropped 8 straight games. They've also lost 8 straight games to Oklahoma City. 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against OKC. They have covered 2 out of their last 3 when getting big points in the Tankathon. In fact, Utah's just been getting a string of 15-plus points in all the last several games. Oklahoma City has been a dreadful cover here, 5-12 against the spread their last 17 games, and they beat you by just enough, it feels like. So I don't know, could you do Utah here in this one? Utah is 41-28 to the over as an underdog. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Blowout risk does caution you against going over, but Utah's defense just they're not doing much. I'm going to go with the over in this one. Massive number on the Thunder, but Utah, with this bad stretch, pure mismatch. They just don't cover the spread pretty much. Maybe it will be a Utah, but I think the over is the better bet for me. Give me the over here in this one. All right, and let's see what we got here in the chat. Then look at the Mr. Wester's not taking 21 on, not laying 21 on a Sunday. And Larry says money line on OKC and play it with the over. That'll get you a good price. All right, we're almost done here in the NBA. A few more here with, here are the Lakers limping in. Man, everything was going so smoothly for the Lakers, like they were going to be able to go in the postseason, maybe with a little, at least a mojo going on with Luka playing so well. Now Austin Reeves is out for the rest of the remainder, and his injury, it sounds like it's going to run even further into the postseason here. So, this is a stinky game on the Peacock, but Dallas has lost 3 in a row, and got to figure the Lakers, they're still favored in this one, but it's all collapsing around them like an Iranian military political regime. 1.5, 232 right now. This line is moved dramatically here. Let me fix that. Man, that's a big move. But again, we did get the news that Reeves is going to be out. I don't know how that line isn't, moving that much for Reeves. Maybe there was a little bit to the fact that Luka was, officially ruled out for the rest of the season. Everybody knew it already, regular season. But we'll see. Like we said, we'll see about. We got a grade 2 hamstring strain. You're going to miss some time. This total has dropped here a little bit here to 232.5 right now, but let's see how you play it here with this one. You got a Dallas team right now still poor against the spread, 34-43, 26-29 ATS as a dog. Lakers, meanwhile, still 29-18 as a favorite. They're still favored in this game, but it's more like a toss-up here right now. Is it a bit of an overstretch here? I mean, Dallas has been really bad, despite the fact that, the Lakers situation here. Dallas is still almost, they're down there in Kings territory. So let's see, though, what you think here in this one. Lakers taking on the Mavs here on the road. Dallas, they've lost 14 straight games at home. How are you going to take them against anybody? 1-8 straight up in their last 9. Lakers have won the last 5 meetings. This matchup has gone under in 6 of the last 7 meetings overall. We're missing those guys, the scorers here, it feels like. So see what you got here in this one. Is Dallas actually going to win a game here against these Lakers? You look at that move. I mean, maybe you're getting a discount on the Lakers, but maybe it's just a big move on Dallas because they're going to win this game. All right, let's see what you got here. This one. I mean, the Sharps have been pounding Dallas all overnight here right now. But you're getting the Lakers at a great price, man. Okay, here you go. Lakers there for Mr. Wesker still. He's taking Mr. Wesker is taking the Lakers, everybody. All right, here Larry says Mavs are going to do it. Upset alert, but it's a 1.5 spread. This is like a toss-up. And let's see, Mr. Wesker says LeBron will be in this. Now, he's going to go against the Lakers. All right. Let's see here. Could Flag have another big game here? And what is NBC? What is Peacock doing? Can't they flex this? Can't they flex this game out or something? Oh boy, I better just look. It's down to 232.5. I better take the under because this thing's gonna be 227 by game time. Give me the under here in this one, Mavericks and Lakers. All right, we're back in the Tankathon here with the Clippers taking on the Kings on the road. Clippers favored by 11.5 total, 230.5. Kings have won 2 straight. Clippers have lost 2 straight. Kings beat Toronto. They beat New Orleans. They're covering a lot of games here. Clippers have failed to cover in 4 straight. They lost to San Antonio. They lost to Portland right now. Clippers are not doing a good job covering anything. But they're in the tankathon here against the Kings. My number came 13, so probably just got to take the Clippers. Maybe looking at the total might be a little bit better for me in this one. I think hey, totals are my thing, okay? Clippers 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. Kings 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and Kings are 15-20 to the under at home here. Yeah, this thing was gone here from, let me take a look. I know there's been some movement on this total, down from 231-ish here as it keeps moving down, but let's see what you've got here in this one. I'll go to the chat. Clippers and Kings. Mr. Weskers just can't seem to get the Kings right. Hello to Blue in the chat tonight. Hi, Blue. Nice to see you there. Nope, you're right. I am not live. This is AI. I was able to clone myself into an AI, and I'm going to go 24 hours a day here on a new channel here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, 24 hours a day. Jimmy says if they're going to miss shots, they can, not because they're out of D here. Oh boy, I think the Clippers can get back here. It feels like, and they got to get one. Like I said, don't forget the Clippers sitting here right now in 9th place. You do want to get to 8th. That you're desperate to get to 8th. I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it actually. So. All right, let's see what you got here in this one, though. I think the under is the way to go for me. I'm going to take the under in this one with the Clippers and the Kings tonight. A lot of unders here for me. And here we go again, right? Last time I did this again, worried that we're going over on all these games and the numbers are getting high, and all of a sudden I'm trusting my numbers and going under, and they'll all go for 250 tomorrow. Clippers against the spread for Blue. I've got one more tonight in the NBA. And it's going to be the Rockets taking on the Warriors here. Rockets 3.5, total 223 here in this one. Let's take a look here with the Houston here, 48-29. On a winning streak here right now. Just when we started to make fun of Houston, they showed us. They started winning again here with a nice winning streak going on. 5 in a row. Golden State's lost 11 of 15 coming in. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Houston's gone over in 4 of their last 5, but Rockets on a 5-0 straight up run. The Warriors just 3-12 against the spread in their last 15 games at home. It seems like a strong situational edge here. The Warriors still have injuries. Like I said, 9 of the last 13 under between these two teams. Warriors are mostly an over, but missing their superstar here, and Houston, pretty clean injury report for them. And let's go to the chat. Probably I'm just going to take the Rockets here. Look, the Warriors are, they're going to the postseason, but they've been almost, it feels like, treating the end of the season like they were a tankathon team. It feels like they've almost, given up as such here with this current string of 3 straight losses, although they did cover against Cleveland and San Antonio, getting big double digits. They seem to do well, okay, when getting the double digits, but here on a short number, I'm going to take Houston to win and cover here as the much better team right now. Okay, here we go. It's going to be Golden State here for Timmy. Larry's going to go over in this one. Under for Blue. And Cal Dog, Warriors plus the points here. Damon's going over here in this one. And yeah, Blue, I just sleep in segments, okay? Yeah. Parlay Rockets of the Magic on the money line for Timmy. I think that's it. I mean, that's it for the NBA. I'm taking the Rockets here on the road. Okay, we're not done with basketball. We've got 2 games here coming up right now in the college basketball crown. And it's going to be coming up. Let me get these numbers right here. I got to see there's been a little bit of a change here. All right, first up, the Oklahoma Sooners are taking on the West Virginia Mountaineers in this one. And you've got Oklahoma favored by, it should be versus there also. These are in Las Vegas here. This is a championship game here, actually, of the tournament here. This is the college. Yeah, this is the college basketball crown at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific time on Fox. Hey, we got something right and finally in college basketball yesterday. There with the West Virginia Creighton game. We were on West Virginia. I wasn't here. It was on the cover the spread show that I do there. But Oklahoma's been the hotter team here of late. It feels like they've covered 8 of their last 10 coming in. West Virginia has been a massive under team all season. Now Oklahoma is a very proficient offense. They've gone 7-3-1 to the over as a favorite, but still West Virginia 10-22 to the under this season. Also here under in 7 of their last 10 right now. So West Virginia does play a pretty good D. I mean, I think Oklahoma probably the much better team overall. I know we were on West Virginia yesterday. I'm going to go under, though, in this one as my play. I think, like I said, West Virginia, hardcore under here. I think just either way, West Virginia win, it's an under. Oklahoma win, it's an under. I think that's the way it's going to go, especially the way it's going here. It feels like for West Virginia coming in. They're just a big-time under team right now. So let's see, though, here if you guys want to make a pick here in the college basketball crown championship. And $300,000 of NIL money at stake here. I think that's what they said. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Let's see if we got anybody in this game. Okay, Blue's going to go under, I think, here. Cal Dog's going with Oklahoma. And Larry says Oklahoma, West Virginia under as well. And Timmy says, you know what, I'm going to put the Sooners in my parlay there because the Sooners can win this one. And Jimmy Two Shoes, yep, he'll take the Sooners on the money line. And Blue's wondering about Arsenal. I mean, what was going on with that game, huh? Okay, that's it for that one. We've got one more championship game today here with college basketball tournament action. Let's go out to I almost said New York City. I almost said Madison Square Garden, but it's in Indianapolis here, like all the basketball here this weekend. Auburn and Tulsa at the NIT championship game here. Tulsa, man, they've done a nice job here to reach the final against this Auburn team coming in. Tulsa's 25-7 this season. Auburn's just 17-16. But we know where these teams are coming from, if you know what I mean, as far as the SEC here, right? But hey, Tulsa 4-2 against the spread as an underdog. Auburn just 9-12 against the spread as a favorite. Both teams are struggling against the number actually of late right now. Tulsa just 3-7 ATS in their last 10. Auburn just 2-8 ATS in their last 10, and Auburn's been just 14-19 against the spread overall. They've been a poor cover all season. So I probably kind of lean to Tulsa, but more so probably just go over in this one. I think we're going to get a big time score here, actually. This one may get to 175, actually. I really like this over, and I'm going to take the over in this one big time. These two teams are combined 40-24 to the over. Auburn's 13-8 to the over as a favorite. And I got to go over in this one with Tulsa and Auburn. Done deal. I'm over. I'm over it. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Tulsa says, Timmy says take Tulsa. Auburn's not going to beat anybody very heavy. And Blue says, how about some college baseball? I do play college baseball here at Tony's Picks. Right now, just usually my top play of the day. It gets on the board if I can get it in there in time. College baseball, I mean, it definitely gets handicapped after all this. Like, I couldn't even get to college baseball on Saturday today with the UFC and the big baseball cards and everything, but I try to get there. I'm a one-man gang. If I can get to that college baseball handicap, I'm gonna. Over with Timmy here. Tulsa for Cal Dog. Timmy will ride with me. Over for Blue. Tulsa money line for Larry. And I think that's it for the college basketball championship games tomorrow. This one, by the way, is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the big NIT championship here. Okay, I think that's going to do it here for the basketball. Let's get to everyone's favorite now. We're going to go to the ice. We've got a handful. We've got a nice little 7-game card. I think we're previewing them all. I think every game has a playoff ramifications. So that's our criteria here on Night Moves. Really honored to have 100 people here with me right now in the chat in the middle of the night. I mean, I've done some shows on Tony. I guess now when we were doing the morning show, we're definitely getting up there, and man, Tony does such a great job with that morning show. Let's go here on the ice right now. And let's start it off with the Wild taking on the Red Wings here with, talk about important games here. Man, tell you what, we had some teams dropping out of the playoffs now yesterday officially, but the wild card races in both leagues are just wild. They're wild. And it's wild right now. The Red Wings here are on 88 points here coming in. That is tied with Ottawa. Ottawa holds the tiebreaker right now. There are 4 teams in the Eastern Conference with 88 points. Well, only one is going to get in. Not only that, the Islanders have 89 points. You basically and the Capitals have 87 points. There are 6 teams within 1 point of that. Now, granted, the Islanders are in the playoffs right now. They're in 3rd place, so they have a little bit more wiggle room. But, hey, you lose. There's only 4 games left for some of these teams. The Islanders have only 4 games left. Teams like the Senators, Red Wings, and Flyers have 6 games left. So the Islanders are no certainty either, and they've lost 4 straight. But we're talking about the Red Wings right now. And like I said, they are here. Missing out on the tiebreaker here at this point, I believe, is what it is. But hey, all you got to do is win. They've lost 3 of 4, unfortunately. Minnesota's won 2 straight in 3 of their last 4, coming in off of a win yesterday over Ottawa. Detroit, meanwhile, lost to the Rangers yesterday on the road. You can't be doing that. You can't lose to the Rangers on the road. big time question marks for sure coming into this one. But you got Red Wings are actually a dog here. They need it desperately. Minnesota doesn't necessarily feel the heat here. They're in the playoffs. They're probably stuck in third place. I mean, with 6 games left and Dallas with 5 games left, I guess they could catch Dallas, but Dallas is going to win some games too. Minnesota's not going to fall out of that third place, minimum third place. So look, Minnesota might not have the uh, motivation in this game. They have won 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams, but again, that's basically a 6-year sample size. Detroit's home form is a major liability. They're 2-8 the last 10, and they need this one bad. Both teams kind of trending heavily to the over of late in this spot, especially Detroit at home. If the defensive situation breaks down a little bit, but could see this one get to an over here. It says, what do I have on the screen there? 5.5 flat? No, it's got to be 5.5 over 20. I might have been just typing in too fast. In fact, it's 6. It's 6 over. I don't know about that. 6 over 15, we're going to call it. That's a little bit of a stretch, it feels like right now to get there. Look, I'm going to take the Red Wings. They have the motivation here. I think if it was just earlier in the season, you still got to think Minnesota. But right now, Detroit needs it bad. They have not played well at home. But Minnesota, I think deep breath here. Get ready for the playoffs a little bit. They could try to get to second place. Okay, here we go. Timmy says maybe the Red Wing, getting them at even money, that might be enough for him. Over here for Larry. I think that's what you kind of see too there. I think that number is high though. Wild on the puck line for Blue. And he says, I'll take the under too. Under instead. Okay, give me the Red Wings here. Panthers, Penguins here. NHL action for Sunday. You got the Penguins, a big $2 favorite right now. The Panthers, their season has long been over for now, but still, it does feel a little bit uncomfortable laying the 220 with the Penguins here. On the puck line, Penguins are 11-19 as a puck line favorite. Florida 17-11 as a puck line dog. These are reasonable puck line records, I think, here coming in. And let's see what you have, though. Here, what you think. Florida 1-6 in their last 7 on the road. Pittsburgh trending over big time. We know that 14 of their last 16. Penguins are in better form in a high-scoring environment here. This one could be easily in the, at least 4-2, if not 5-2. It could be even more. I mean, you look at how these teams have gone over all season here. Both teams are 43-33 to the over. Florida 23-14 to the over on the road. Pittsburgh 22-16 to the over at home. Does feel like here, I think over is the right play for me here. We'll figure it out. It's got a puck line game, decision, it seems like here for sure with that 220 out there. But, Pittsburgh minus a goal and a half is pretty much even money, maybe minus $1.05. Maybe Pittsburgh can roll Florida. Florida's obviously having their share of woes here. They lost to Pittsburgh yesterday 9-4 in this game. So will it come back and be the same thing again here? I don't know if Pittsburgh can win it by a 9-4 margin, but I don't know if the defense is ready to clamp down either. I'll take the over again after yesterday's 9-4 result here as they play back-to-back games in Pittsburgh here tonight. Okay, chat says Blue is on the Penguins. And he also likes the over. Penn's team total over, says Timmy, I think Cal Dog's on the over as well. Or he's out of bounds. Blue says it'll be 5-3. Larry says Penguins money line and over. Cal Dogs on the over. A lot of over here. I'll take the over too. Not going to be 13 goals tonight, there are they? The action started slow. The action started slow yesterday in some of the finals, and I was thinking, the Grand Salami yesterday, I think it was 96. And the game started a little slow, but then you had they really picked up here at the end. 13 goals in the Kings game, 7 in Carolina, 11 in Vancouver, 8 in Washington, 9 in San Jose. All right, next up, got the Bruins taking on the Flyers here. Flyers still alive. They have 88 points. Bruins here. Bruins here. They have 94 points. They're going to get the wild card here. They're going to be first in the wild card probably no matter what right now. So they're in. Flyers do have the pressure of trying to win. I guess that's why they're minus $1.45, $1.50 here, coming off the win yesterday over the Islander, or 2 days ago. They're rested. Boston lost to Tampa Bay 3-1 yesterday. They just lost on the Florida swing 5-2 in the 2 games to Tampa Bay and Florida. Now they got to play back-to-back against rested Philadelphia. Philadelphia with all the momentum in the world. Boston likely to just finish in first in the wild card unless they really blow it here, but they're 6 points clear of these teams that have 88 points. Now, 1 or 2 of them is going to move up there probably to within 4 points, but Philadelphia does have the big time momentum in this game. $1.50 doesn't feel like a comfortable price, but sometimes we're getting this close and they need it. Boston also here just mediocre on the road, basically a 500 team, 15, 16, and 17. Despite their strong home record, they've been poor on the road. And they did win, though, at the Islanders. Like I said, they won a couple here. They also beat Detroit on the road, but lost to Washington recently. I think this one's going to be a little bit tight with the teams here coming in, especially Philadelphia, 17-21 at home to the under, 9-12 to the under as a favorite. No doubt Boston's an over team here, and well, if it's going to be, what are we showing here on the screen? 5.5 again? I'm sorry, I keep screwing these up, you guys. It's obviously 6 here right now. Maybe shaded to the under. There is some 5.5 over 25s, but let me just make sure we get as close as we can to the most accurate line here. I'm going to take the Flyers. They need it. It's $1.50. I get it. I'm going to take them, though, in this one. Okay, here we go. We're looking for Flyers and under here. Blues on the Flyers. Cal Dogs on the Flyers. Lots of Flyers. Tremaine says still can fade Boston on the road, even though they've won 2 of their last 3. I'll take the Flyers here in this one over the Bruins. Next up, we've got the Hurricanes taking on the Senators. I told you all these games have some playoff implications here still to go. Carolina right now, look, if anything, they're well clear. This one kind of is more of a feature. I think the Senators here on their 88 points, they're currently in just on the tiebreak. Carolina, top team here in the East, 104 points. They're trying to hang on. Could have a little bit of motivation there. They've won 3 straight. Ottawa here has been, kind of in the dumps actually for a few weeks now. Here it feels like they've almost started to blow it to a certain extent, but here they are. They're going to get a chance here against the big bad Hurricanes right now. For the Hurricanes here, coming in on this little bit of a streak of 3 consecutive victories here. And let's see how you have it with the Hurricanes and the Senators. Carolina has been the more competitive team. They've dominated this matchup. 6 of the last 8 have been won by Carolina. Ottawa's home success, so is going to definitely keep this game close enough. I'm sure. Historical under here for this series. I think it could end up being it's 6.5. I got to keep looking at these right now because I may have just 6.5 under 20. I must have been just in a hurry or something when I typed these in. There we go. 6.5 under 20. That's what it feels like. That's kind of what it feels like. The more sound solution here, I think, in this one. Yes, closely rated here. Carolina's been the hotter team. Ottawa, though, is going to be more motivated than Carolina. Like I said, I think Carolina is comfortable right now, 10 points ahead of Pittsburgh. Yes, just 2 points ahead of Tampa. You'd like to get that top seed in the East here, but you're still going to face a team highly motivated here right now, desperate to make the playoffs. So, all right, I'm going to take the under in this one. I think 6.5, just a little too high for me. Look, I think I like the side here, but I'm going to reserve it and go with the under in this one. Let's see what the chat says. Oh. Under for, let's see, under for Larry. And Jermaine's on the over, I believe. Timmy's on the over as well. Blue says he expects the opposite, fast start, slow down. All right. Jermaine had a winner there with Utah first period. Jermaine's got a problem with Reimer in goal, I think. He says Reimer was in goal the other day when it went under in Ottawa. Maybe it could again. I'm going to take the under. Okay, I have to adjust my chair I need to win some games here and get a new chair. Devils and Canadians in this one. You got again, the Devils are done. We know that for Montreal here. 100 points. That Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, can you believe it? Buffalo goes from first to third. Montreal from second to third to second. Tampa's now in first. And Tampa's probably the better team there, but Montreal's won 8 in a row right now. They're the hottest team going here. Canadians, my Canadians here at the end of the season. For New Jersey here, they do come in here 19-11 as a puck line underdog. Montreal 11-27 as a puck line favorite. Not great, but man, this is a big time winning streak. A little bit of a price here, 155. You're probably paying some winning streak tax. It feels like, but man, yeah, can you stop the Canadians right now in this great run that they're on here currently? Again, some big plus money if you take the puck line plus $1.50 or so, and you got the 8-game heater for Montreal, the home ice here. New Jersey has fared well in Montreal in the past. In fact, I think we look at the series history overall, you wouldn't necessarily take Montreal. New Jersey's won 10 straight games here in Montreal. 10. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. That is a big-time number. Is it time for Montreal to end that streak and keep their own winning streak going to 9 games? Do you want to lay $1.50 to do it? New Jersey's also won 5 of the last 6 overall between these two teams, but Montreal's just hot. People always ask me, what do you favor when I do the trends, and I read them all short term. I think a lot of people think, the long-term trend is the way to go. I think the short term, when you got teams that won 8 straight, what do I care if they've lost 10 games to the Devils over the last 3 seasons? I get it. It's a factor in the game. If you had to tell me to break the tie or something, I think you want to compact it in to the most recent games, right? The most recent form. Anything could have happened in those other games. A lot of times you don't even know if some players are out. It'd take forever to maybe AI could handicap it for you. Here, let's see what you got in this one. Canadians here for blue. Under for Larry. Under for Larry. New Jersey definitely an under. 17-21 to the under on the road. Montreal does go over at home. Talk about New Jersey owning that uh, streak, and they were, Montreal finally just beat them at least at New Jersey last time, 4-3 back in the game. In the game yesterday. So you almost could throw out that. Let me see what was the line here on the game yesterday between these two. Montreal was favored $1.20 there, and finally got the win over New Jersey on the road. So I just find that pretty interesting that they were able to. Now we're in Montreal back second end back end of a back to back. So yeah, you're paying the price here a little bit, but very interesting. Here we go. Jermaine says, with the backups in there tomorrow, probably, right? Let's see here. Devils come back and win tonight after losing to Montreal last night. Hi, Darnell. Nice to see you. Thank you. And yeah, both teams might be a little bit tired. Maybe it does go under here, especially now we're listing it there at 6.5. I mean, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad that Darnell showed up, because I think I'm going to take the under, actually. Thank you, Darnell. Give me the under in this one. New Jersey's the under team for sure. Even though Montreal's 43-33 to the over this season, they are 19-19 up and 19 down as a favorite. So yeah, give me the under. Thanks, Darnell. Hello, Shaq. Right, Shaq. I don't want to say this too many times, but I've said it before. But sometimes I've sat here, and maybe we're not on the. No doubt, when we got some good games, I get excited. But sometimes the games, and I promise you, there have been a few moments in this since we moved to this time slot here that, I've already been handicapping, prep for the show, probably at least 45 minutes minimum, right? Writing the notes down and some picks. And, so I do have a little script in my mind, but I promise you, sometimes I'll be like, and the Mavericks have lost 7 straight and they're not playing. Like, I know, like my eyes are closed. Does anybody ever see that? And Timmy says, "How about my guy?" Timmy. I don't know if Timmy's saying it because I'm a Guy Lafleur fan. I'm a fan of the Flower. When I was, just learning about hockey, and I'm from Southern California, so it was hard. Guy Lafleur, he was my favorite player. All right. Keep it moving here, though, right now before I start talking with my eyes closed. Capitals and hold on a second. We're not really previewing this game, are we? Oh, how did this one get? Am I forced to make a play because I put this one? We're not going to cover this one very long with Capital. What are we doing here? How did this one get on the? I said we were cutting all the games, and then all of a sudden this is on. Okay, I'll give you this. Capitals are not done yet. They're on 87 points. Let's be fair here. I'm kidding. They're 1 point out of the playoffs here. But I'm just making fun of the Rangers here because the Rangers did win yesterday, picked up a victory over Detroit. Washington, meanwhile, beat Buffalo 6-2. Impressive. Washington's playing hot at just the right time. That's what's gotten back into this playoff spot here right now. Look, Rangers are at home. Capitals need the playoffs. Come on. We're on the Capitals here for sure. Give me the Caps in this one. Okay, let's see. Timmy goes over. Capitals puck line here for Larry. Capitals puck line. Rangers terrible on the back to back. Rangers terrible at home. Rangers terrible as I don't know if they're actually favorite here. I think I got it as I have it as a favorite on the screen, but the Capitals are favored now. Let me at least flip flop that for all the viewers. At least by the end of the video here. Remember, I don't know if you know this, and you might know this. If you didn't watch the Night Move show on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, each one of my previews is actually chopped up into a small 2 or 3 minute video on each game. So if you missed the show and you want to see one, just go to type in, Tony's Picks, Night Moves, Capitals, Rangers. You'll probably get the right video. So Capitals are favored though here now, and I'm taking them. And let's see, he's got Alex for a goal. He's got Obi for a goal. Cal Dog going over. One more game on Night Moves, everybody. Can you believe it? Only 3 hours of coverage here tonight, right? 2.5, almost 3. We've got the Blues and the Avalanche here. And for the Avalanche, it's about them here in this one, of course. The Blues, they are pretty much toast, 5 points out, but they really would have to get it going. For Colorado, meanwhile, the top team here, they're basically 6 points clear of Carolina, and they have right now 7 games left to play. So they're about to clinch the best record in the league. I don't think it's quite with this game here against the Blues. And the Blues are done. We know that. But they did win their last game against Anaheim 6-2. Colorado, meanwhile, comes in off of a 2-0 win over Dallas last night in a pretty, in a game that, almost sealed it then, right? So let's see what you have here on our final game of the show here. Colorado's been shaky a little bit recently at home, but St. Louis rode unders 9 of the last 11, and overall trend of the under 13 of their last 17. I think Colorado here dominates this game. The total on the screen there says 6.5, but I think it's 6. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I just had a bad night with the graphics here. 6 under 15. I still might go under. Still might go under. It was just a typo. It wasn't like the line moved or anything. But look, Colorado 31-40 to the under as a favorite. St. Louis 20-30 to the under as a dog. I got to go under 6 in this one. And that's it for Night Moves. See if anybody had a pick on the last one. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here. We'll just wrap it up. We've been here a long time. And these shows will get shorter once we're done with the regular season here. Avalanche on the puck line there for Larry. Blues team total over for Timmy. Blues puck line for Jermaine. And puck line for the Avalanche, though, for Blue. Darnell, puck line and over. Jermaine going to lay the 230. No, he's laughing at it. He's laying the 230. But Blues puck line for Cal Dog. Blues team total under for Blue. And Timmy says, Blackwood, the numbers aren't that great. Take the Blues for the goals. Thanks a lot, you guys. Great job in the chat. Really great job in the chat. Really carried the show here tonight. Don't forget, heading on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to get my best picks tomorrow in Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL. Thank you for joining me here. It's had a great night. Man, really enjoyed it. Made up there for some of the L's I had there on Saturday. So thanks a lot, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow here with more Night Moves. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm